I'm looking around the arena for Iceberg.
Hold on a second. I know I'm not the brightest bulb in the lot, but I thought this was supposed to be a tag team match, Tank. What happened to your partner? Did he maybe take a little slip in the shower? Is he maybe still at the all-you-can-eat buffet trying to feed his fat, disgusting face? Oh, wait a second. I remember what happened to that guy. As a matter of fact, I got a little footage. You thought you were cute not too long ago when you showed some footage of me being tied up. Well, you know what? I got some footage to show you. Roll the tape.
There he is. The no pain train. Hey, Iceberg. What's going on? Huh? You want to play a little game? You want to play a little game? Huh? You think you're tough? You think you're tough? You ain't nothing, Berg. You ain't nothing. That's it, guys.
Get it.
Get him.
Pick him up. Pick him up. Pick him up. You ain't so bad, Train.
No, he ain't bad.
Pick him up. Turn him around. He ain't so bad. Come on.
Beat him like you own him.
You ain't so bad, boy. Down, Scottie. Down. Get it down. Get it down. Get it down. No pain, Train. Come on. One more. Give us that. Yeah. He's not so bad.
All right, Scottie. We know who the real no pain train is.
Bad. I'm the ticking time bomb, Jack. And whatever Al wants, I'll get.
I want this man gone. And I think we did it.
Al! Get it, Al! Get him!
I got him. I got him. Take a look at that. Take a look at that. Just like every time he faces you, Scottie, he ends up a bloody mess.
You're not so bad.
All right, good job. You know, this is getting too easy. But Tank, you've got a dilemma. There's only one of you, and there's two quality wrestlers right here. So what I want to know is, what are you gonna do about it, sucker?
Tank, it's 2-on-1. I think I know what your answer is.
2-on-1. That sounds fine to me, because I think I've crapped turds bigger than these two little bastards over here. But it seems that there's always 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 4-on-1. And I noticed, I looked at my watch in the back, and Iceberg wasn't here yet. So I decided, I went out and I recruited me somebody who said that he would have loved to be my partner. So boys, it's going to be 2-on-2. So if you don't mind playing the music, go ahead.
Well, that music sounds awfully familiar. It can't be who I think it is. No, it is!
And introducing his tag team partner from Tacoma, Georgia, weighing in at 234 pounds, the 4-time World Tag Team Champion, 2-time Wildside Champion, the original chosen one, Rick Michaels.
Yeah, I think Tank may have found himself a tag team partner. Rick Michaels making his return to Wildside Television. What a big surprise. Boy, Pomp and Circumstance and Al Getz Enterprises thought they had Tank's number by ambushing Iceberg out in the parking lot.
High back body drop there by Michaels, and now ready to go after Pomp and Circumstance. Big hip toss there by Tank.
And Pomp and Circumstance have decided to take the high road here and reevaluate the game plan, which has just been thrown completely out of the NWA arena.
Wildside's only duo of Bukkakians in a lot of trouble here.
But Rick Michaels, as impressive as he is and as smart as he is, he's damaged goods. Let's call a spade here, all right? The man has had to take a sabbatical from pro wrestling due to some severe spine damage, practically breaking his back, practically putting his life on the line just by waking up in the morning. I mean, it's great seeing Rick Michaels back, don't get me wrong.
And finally, the contract that was written back when Steve Martin had an authority position within the National Wrestling Alliance that banned Michaels' presence on TV revoked as he re-signed as a wrestler with NWA Wildside. So his CEO contract ran out. Now he can be back on television. He's already been on our Friday night non-televised events for quite a while. But the original chosen one trying to rehab himself. It's not going to be an easy task. The back's still injured. As you stated, let's call a spade a spade. Rick Michaels is in a lot of trouble physically, but he's got so much guts. He's got so much determination that he does not care. You watch him, he comes to the ring, and may it be to his detriment. You might be right, Steve. I don't know.
You said some very ominous words there. He may not care, and that's ultimately perhaps going to be Rick Michaels' downfall. But frankly, you try telling him that, right? I'm the guy who's probably the most stubborn man in professional wrestling, both for his benefit as well as his detriment.
Well, definitely that's so, but action in the ring now. Collar and elbow tie-up. Shawn Timbers the Sugar with an eye rake there. Big right hand and another pounding on Tank. The last time these two were in the ring with Tank and Iceberg, they got decimated. They went and recruited Al Getz. Now they're part of Al Getz Enterprises. Apparently putting a lot of money in the pocket of Al Getz. These spoiled brats here never had to work a day in their life.
Do you know that Al Getz takes 93.7% of his guys cut? 93.7!
That's ridiculous.
That it is.
Duck of a clothesline there, duck of another. Shawn Timbers didn't duck the boot to the face. Tank with a nasty mafia kick.
And apparently the tooth count in the mouth of Shawn Timbers is now a single digits. As Shawn Timbers now hung upside down to dry. You know, I never get tired of these moves. Note the subtext. All right. This is not Japan style, is it? No?
I gotta give him a 10 for creativity, though.
That it is. I've heard they're trying to clean up the porn industry. We'll have to ask Bailey about that, but I didn't realize it was spilling out into the rings of NWA Wildside. As Al Getz Enterprise is having a bit of a tete-a-tete at a ringside. And I tell you, by ambushing Iceberg out in what I assume is our parking lot here, I couldn't quite tell from the fidelity of that videotape. But Iceberg may be out of commission, but one day he's going to be back in commission, and that's not going to be good news for Al Getz Enterprises. What were they thinking? I don't care if Scottie, Wrenn, and Bulldog Reigns is involved. You know, those are the last guys you want to get mad at you, but Al Getz seems to be a glutton for punishment. He's the master of Mashugana.
Tank dropping Shawn Timbers right on his head. And that cannot bode well for this youngster.
And Rick Michaels making his way to the ring for the first time here. Meets up with an eye rake. The very cocky Ace Rockwell taking his sweet time. That just screams rookie mistake. Just screams it.
And Rick Michaels capitalized on it as well. The original chosen one taking Rockwell to school here. Arm drag takeover, beautifully executed by Michaels. There's a patented Michaels drop kick.
And I tell you, with a series of hip tosses, and I hope if Rick Michaels there certainly is wrestling intelligently here, because we don't want to see the hip tosses turn into artificial hip tosses, if you know what I'm saying to you.
Well, he's even modified the way he executes the double shot to protect that spinal injury. He now drops to his knees in a much more variant of the hangman's neck breaker on the second push of that maneuver. So if he does get the opportunity to execute it here tonight, then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Rick Michaels is aware of his problems, but sometimes he just gets that look in his eye like he's the Rick Michaels of old.
Oh, that's bad news for the Rick Michaels of 2004. If you ask me, look, I don't mean to, again, rain on the parade of the original chosen one, Rick Michaels, but the man needs to be cautious, and frankly, being in a wrestling ring, in all honesty, is not the best place for him, but his fighting heart, his spirit, and the amount of knowledge that he has of professional wrestling is truly awe-inspiring. There's no denying that.
Rockwell taking a lot of punishment from Tank high in the air.
And Tank enjoys dishing it out. And there's Tank knocking one through the goalposts. Yeah, the point is good, Tank. Series of swift kicks to the kidneys. Assuming Rockwell has any left. Tank, I think he's now having fun. Even though his regular tag team partner, Iceberg, now out of commission, thanks to that ambush in the parking lot. And Pomp circumstance now having to do things a bit more seriously, because Tank went backstage and managed to snag the original Chosen One, Rick Michaels, as his substitute tag team partner. And in all honesty, I'd rather have Rick Michaels on my side than against me. Who wouldn't?
Tag made back into the original Chosen One. Coming in on Shawn Timbers. Tank really kicking the fool out of the boy. One of those nasty kicks to the back.
Well, there's plenty of fool in Al Getz Enterprises, so he'll be kicking all night.
Snapmare takeover again. Michaels drills Timbers.
Tell you, for a man who's gone through some severe spinal trauma over the last year, Rick Michaels is moving surprisingly nimbly here this evening.
Well, considering the circumstances, he looks tremendous.
I mean, even being whipped into the... Oh, my goodness! Al Getz hanging on to the feet of Rick Michaels.
Big forearm shot by Shawn Timbers.
And Timbers immediately going on for the back initially, and now going for a choke as Michaels trying to protect his back as well as he should. He'd protected him much better if he stayed home, but try telling him that.
And Al Getz Enterprises, they know what they're doing here with Michaels. Getz is no dummy. I wouldn't be surprised to see a full-fledged attack on that back. They know where the injury is. It's well documented.
And now Al Getz, and that ridiculous 1965 bowling shirt, now putting the boots to the back of Rick Michaels. And the original, this might be Rick Michaels' farewell matchup if this continues that much longer. Michaels elongating the match a little longer by putting his leg on that bottom rope and able to roll a shoulder. His days of kicking out of pins, I believe, are comfortably behind him. A pair of fists to the gut of Ace Rockwell. Rockwell counters with 2 fingers in the eyes, and that would certainly slow down any individual.
And there's an elbow to the spine. And Timbers stomping away on the back of Michaels. Now driving the boot into the lower back, right there in the vertebrae.
Rick Michaels finding himself in a most unpleasant position, trying desperately to make a comeback in the rings of NWA Wildside. But Al Getz Enterprises, even with his 2 most recent members, Pomp and Circumstance, are trying to thwart that comeback, and in comes Tank. He's seen enough.
Andrew Thomas trying to get some semblance of order here.
That's a switch for him.
Tank could care less. There's a knee to the face, boot to the midsection. There's the double shot by Michaels.
The variation on the double shot, and it hit pay dirt here tonight on Wildside.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, the team of the Strong Style Psycho Tank and the original Chosen One, Rick Michaels.
Quite a gutsy showing from the returning original Chosen One, Rick Michaels. On. And Shawn Timbers does a split Tank's peas. And in comes Scottie Wrenn. And once again, the scales tipped in the favor of Getz Enterprises.
Tank crashing into the guardrail. Scottie Wrenn and Pomp and Circumstance. Wrenn coming to the aid of Michaels. Well, we know these 2 have had a relationship in the past, but thought that was well dissolved.
And Scottie Wrenn was not out here to save Rick Michaels, but to the imagination and just popped Rick Michaels right in the face. And oh dear, Rick Michaels making his comeback on Wildside, now in the wrong place at the wrong time at the hands of completely the wrong man.
He's gonna give him the psycho slam on the chairs with the type of injury that man has sustained. Oh no!
A bruised and bloody Iceberg makes his way back to the ring. Rick Michaels rolling out of harm's way, and Scottie Wrenn and a bloody and bruised Iceberg. Mixing it up.
Iceberg fighting off all of Getz Enterprises. Onto the hip of Tank with a turn. No! Psycho slam by Wrenn on Iceberg onto the chairs. They may have done away with the 600-pound no-pain train. He's taken a lot of punishment, but can you imagine the internal damage suffered from that type of maneuver?
The amount of damage that Iceberg has experienced in his life, I can't even begin to describe what he must be experiencing at this moment.
He's gonna do it again! Does he have no soul? No remorse?
I have no earthly idea what is going on between the ears of the ticking time bomb, Scottie Wrenn, but he seemingly has successfully taken out a damaged Iceberg and ultimately taking out a win on the part of Tank and his new tag team partner, at least here for this evening, the returning Rick Michaels.
There you see, Steve, the gruesome crimson visage of Iceberg. Scottie Wrenn may have very well been the Titanic tonight that sank the Iceberg this time around. Payback. Good grief.
Oh, I tell you, that's the ultimate payback. If what they accomplished in the parking lot wasn't enough, Iceberg actually made it his way into the NWA arena, and ultimately just to get that much more punishment, and perhaps even more lethal punishment, at the hands of Scottie Wrenn.
Onyx coming out to check on the Iceberg, the Wildside champion, Slim J.
I mean, Iceberg has not moved since that second Psycho Scottie slam.
I mean, it is very rare to see the Iceberg leave an arena at any point away from his own free will.
No, I mean, the Iceberg is obviously breathing. That's a good sign. But he's not moving, and that's perhaps an ultimately bad sign. Rick Michaels is fit to be tied, not just because of his return to the televised NWA Wildside show, but because of what Getz Enterprises carried out here this evening. This goes beyond mere chicanery, as you would say, Dan.